Hello and good afternoon. It's just coming up to 2 o'clock in the afternoon and it's the 17th of January. Feels a bit warmer than it did do a little bit earlier. It's possibly because I'm out of the wind. So if you remember from one of my previous videos, the church in the distance right over there in the top corner there, that's St. Catherine's. And I've come over to have a look at this place because it's a particularly impressive building and a particularly impressive site. It's not a church, it's actually a cemetery. This is Burngreave Cemetery, and as you can see, it's a really impressive space. It's now a listed area, a listed building, so it's something of a heritage site because of the architecture and the structure of it. As you can see, the fir trees all the way up, evergreens, and then you've got the entrance coming in to this really impressive structure. As you can see, spire in the middle, open space there in both parts of the tower there, probably no bell because it's not that kind of place. It's showing that it's 2 in the afternoon. It's maintained by the local council. It's interesting they've done this. Here we go. It's the largest public open space in Burngreave, managed by Sheffield City Council with the support of the community, and it is a cemetery, of course. But what I want to show you is the main entrance, which is the way we've come in here, and then the top part here that it's showing there, that's consecrated area. The bottom part is unconsecrated, and just in the corner where it says NN, that's where the Roman Catholic community were buried. So we're going to go up. That's the caretaker's hut, and I assume that the caretaker is also in. And let's go up and take a look, shall we? Not sure what that is. It's been fenced off. There's an old car that's been fenced off there as well. Not entirely sure. It's an impressive building, of course. Chimney pot's not good there, so it looks like it's been closed up for some time. And boxed off, so to speak. But I wanted to come closer and have a look at this structure here. And the clock tower itself is really stunning. It was built in 1861, so I don't actually think it's denominational. I don't think it's specifically Catholic. I don't think it's specifically Anglican or Methodist. I think it was designed and built for everyone. Hence the idea of the consecrated and unconsecrated ground. Now, they don't look like they've got windows in, do they? Some of the windows are there, but a lot of it, I think you can see lead in the smaller parts of the window. There's not much in that one, but there seems to be a bit more in that one. It may be that this one isn't working, it isn't used, because of the way it seems to be sealed up, so to speak. You can see some platforming going on there. But the side over here to my right does seem to be more used. The windows seem to be more intact. And actually it looks like there's some perspex covering. Ah no, look, as you can see, there are pieces missing. Quite a lot of it's missing. The lead flashing is still there, but there's perspex all the way around. So it may be that it's not in use and it's just a heritage area. And then you've got, of course, the graveyard itself, which is scenic, peaceful. People will come here just to contemplate and just to spend a bit of time. This is the side area here. It's just amazing. It's on my doorstep. It's literally less than a mile away from where I live. And I just feel really blessed that I have places that I can view that are impressive, regardless of what they're for. Not far away from me, there are castles as well, so hopefully I'll go and have a look at those, but that is the church. You see things like Sherlock on TV, and you see scenes like this, where people are in, they've got like the branches and things, and it's a classic TV thing, isn't it? So I'm going to go to the middle and go through. I don't want to spend too much time here because mostly it's gravestones and things, and I don't want to be disrespectful or disturbing anything. I'll have a look on the other side, the left hand side, like I've just done a view of the right, and then I'll the clock is functioning, look, and then I'll do a view from the middle, go through the archway. That clock's bang on, which is good, obviously well maintained as well, as you can see. Let's have a look over here. The doorway's shut and bolted. See, this one doesn't have the perspex on it, which leads me to think it's not in use. You know, you're going to get all kinds of rain and weather hitting that and going through, so it may well be there's nothing going on in there at all. But it is impressive architecturally. Did I tell you? I'm not sure. It was built in 1861, so 9 years after the Anglican church that we've looked at, and 13, 14 years after the Catholic Church down the way. Okay, here we go. This is the view from the other side, getting closer to the caretaker's hut, just walking backwards. See the grills there? I think maybe it's to stop the pigeons coming in. You can see the daylight through the tower there. It's got the classic lightning conductor on it as well. But as you can see, the windows on the ground floor are all metal sheeted and blocked off. So that's the sunshine view. We saw the other view in the shade. Let's go through the middle and have a look. The detail on that is beautiful, isn't it? Look at that. Really stunning stuff. I think this is bang in the Victorian age, isn't it? A couple of tiles seem to be missing on there, unfortunately. But it's still maintained, and as we've read on that notice, it's maintained by the local authority, local government and groups here. I know that they have people who have got ancestors here, and there are ways, look at that, sorry, from the main entrance you can see the church, and possibly if you strain your eyes you might even be able to see the other one, but I'm not sure. Yeah, there are groups here that will help you trace your lineage and ancestry, because what they've done is, there was a chap here, I think he was called Connor, John O'Connor or something, bless him, he died in 2015, but he actually did a lot of work on the gravestones, and here we go, did a lot of work on the gravestones. It's cool. Quite a good detail there, and he's recorded them on the computers. That may well be a king and queen again. They generally do that, don't they? One does look like a king. I'm not sure if that's a queen because of it's almost a wimple that she's wearing, but I'm not quite sure. Drainage, useful. It's okay. Oh, comes out into two arms over here and over here. That's what makes me think that maybe that one was more in use. But it all seems to be blocked off, and oh, that's unfortunate. Look at that. Yeah, it's obviously in disuse. I think what's happening is the structure's maintained but not much of the inside, and that just may be a cost thing. So as we walk up here, you can just see on the ground that in the shadow, this bit has been in shadow all day, and you can still see the frost from this morning. So as we walk up the ground, what we've got on the right hand side is the unconsecrated ground, and on the left hand side is the consecrated ground. So this is the Christian one and this is a non-denominational one, I'm assuming. I'm going to go back and have a look here. Let's get the sunshine out of the way to some extent. There we go. That gives you an idea of the size of the building. You can see why it's a listed building and a heritage site, because it's absolutely stunning. So I'm going to walk a little bit further up, because there's a couple of particularly interesting looking gravestones here that we can take a quick look at before we sign off. Wide avenue, as you can see, very peaceful, and it would be very peaceful at any time of the day or night. So here's the first one that I want to look at. And this says, in memory of Lucy Priscilla, beloved wife of George Ward, died December the 5th, 1892, aged 55 years. Also Edith and Charles, their children, who died in infancy. Also the above named George Ward, died March 21st, 1898. And it looks like age of 65 years. Also Lucy Ann, wife of the above, died December 25th, 1902, aged 61 years, at rest. So Lucy Priscilla was a beloved wife, and then Lucy Ann may have been the second wife. It's a family grave. Quite an impressive tombstone. There is another one further up that I want to have a look at. I think this was the idea of the ambient life. Just finding things, places that were peaceful, and yes, it's a place of the dead and a place of the departed, but it doesn't mean you can't come here and think, or take some time out and just appreciate the value of your own life, I suppose. Okay, so there are two more, well, three, two on the right and one on the left. I'll have a look at that because they're quite well made again. So have some, maybe the family ones again. So the first one is this one we're coming up to now. It says green. Sacred to the memory of Thomas Lewis Green, steel and file manufacturer of the city, born January 15th, 1829. Died January 26, 1898. Also Sarah, widow of the above, born August 18th, 1830, died April 1st, 1911. So these are before the First World War. And then on here, also of Willis, died September 14th, 1854, aged 6 months, bless him. And he was interred at St John's Church. Also Arthur Thomas, died March 1st, 1865, aged 8 years. Also Lily Helena, who died 1st of June 1870, aged 4 years and 6 months, children of Thomas Lewis and Sarah Green. Oh bless. That gives you a very eye-opening understanding of infant mortality around that time. These were well-to-do people if he was something to do with steel. Just having a look at this side as well. Also Thomas Lewis, trying to read that, sorry. Youngest son of Thomas Lewis and Sarah Green, died May 3rd, 1900, aged 25 years. So he lived a bit longer, bless him. But they're all here, all of the family. Bless them. So the entire family lived and died before the First World War, which gives you an understanding, because the Great War changed it all, didn't it? And obviously they were a well-to-do family, because the gravestone is impressive. So, in loving memory of Elizabeth, the beloved wife of Thomas Sumners, born November 11th, 1886, does it look like? Not sure, looks like 1836 actually. Hold on. Yeah, it's 1836. Died April 2nd, 1885. Also the above named Thomas Sumner, who died July 20th, 1901, aged 65 years. Respected in life, remembered in death. Bless. Okay, let's go. There is another one there that I think that gives you a good idea of the age of the place and the manner in which this place was used and treated. And it is. I live in a suburb area of my city, Sheffield, and this is without a doubt the biggest open space I know. I haven't been here for a very long time, but it's always worth coming to have a look. I don't know how long it's been since anybody was buried here, because there are trees in between the gravestones. There are trees in between, look. So it's been a long time. There's one there on the gravestone there. It's been a long time since anybody has been buried here and laid to rest. But it's still maintained and kept as best as they can, I suppose, so that's something. So it's going to be another 2-minute walk just to get up to the top. These gravestones are large though. It's a 2-minute walk up to the top. You see how far back they go as well. Right the way through. All of that wooded area is graveyard. All of the wooded area there. But you know, it hasn't, as I say, it hasn't been used in such a long time. So this one's a bit sparse. This is non-consecrated ground. So anybody could have been buried here. People who are not particularly religious or not deemed to be eligible for consecrated areas. It's still big. I'm sure there's a memorial up here, like very similar to a war memorial. I want to have a look at that before we call it a day, because some of the ones on the top of the hill there particularly big, but I do remember there being something up here that was particularly big, surprisingly so. So I think we'll go up to that and then we will call it a day. Well, that space there, those houses, the back of a small housing estate. There was an old school there called De La Salle. That was De La Salle School. I met a chap about 10 or 15 years ago who went there as a child. I'm not sure if it was a Catholic school or not, but certainly it was a school he went to. They pulled it down and built a housing estate which backs onto this place. Right, that's odd. I've never seen that. You've got literally the equivalent of a roundabout area for you to go round, as you can see, and there are graves in the middle. So we're going to go up this hill and see if we can find that war memorial, and then we'll call it a day. Honestly, it's like a walk in the woods. You wouldn't know, would you? It's a lovely cold day. You can just hear traffic. There we go, look. Another view. Tree in the middle. Okay, let's keep going. Here we go. It's quite nice that the steps are in threes, and then a bit of a break in the middle, and then another three. Look at that. Here we go. Wow, it's bigger than I realised. I've only ever been to the bottom part of this. I didn't realise it stretched so far. I'm a bit out of breath. Have a look at the view over here. I think it's over there. Let me go and have a look. Yes, it is. I'm going to take a right turn and we will find it over there. There we go. You can see my shadow. So this is the dead of winter, really, which is why on a bright day you've got no no leaves on the trees, but this is a really peaceful place to come to when it's summertime. Peaceful, tree-lined, and yes, they are tombstones, but they also are pieces of amazing architecture that denote a time and an age and a style. So at some point these were the way that people were interned, and the headstones, somebody a bit more well-to-do would have had this. Okay, we're coming up to this thing that I'd seen. I'm not sure whether it is, as I say, a war memorial. I do remember it being here and being quite large. And it's probably because it is such a large piece of land that they put a memorial in there, because in the 1860s and 70s I'm sure that that's something that happened. People would come and remember those who passed before. And another one there. That's an interesting black marble one there. That's James Horton. Sacred to the memory of James Horton. Let's keep going. Yes, here we are. We can go in actually as well. So I'm going to turn and show you this. I always think it's important, and I've said that time and again, to have a look at the memorials. Now, this one is different. I mean, we do have one in the centre of our city. I've shown that one on one of my previous videos. This one is one for a particular area, so it's interesting to have a look. The cross has got a sword on it as well. So I'm going to have a look. It says, "This cross of sacrifice, one in design and intention with those which have been set up in France and Belgium and other parts throughout the world where our dead of the Great War are laid to rest." Ah, so they've twinned these, and they've designed the same design in France and in Belgium for the First World War. So this is about things like the Maginot Line, which was a line of the First World War. So here, as a remembrance, they're here, but also you've got a memorial to them. So buried elsewhere in this cemetery, Private W.T. Noble, Royal Army Ordnance Corps, 1st of July 1940, age 27, in loving memory. In loving memory, he will be sadly missed. Again, these are buried elsewhere. This is Private F. Knight, the York and Lancaster Regiment, 10th of February 1946, age 28. This is D. Robinson, Driver D. Robinson, Royal Signals, 13th of February 1947. So these are probably the latest ones that were buried here actually. J.R. Ball, Royal Signals, 8th of March 1941. Sorry, 11th of March 1941, age 36. James R. Callahan, or J.R. Callahan, Private, Royal Army Ordnance Corps, 21st of March 1946, age 18. That's very sad. Young. Let's have a quick look at these here. They're all written as the same thing. Sergeant J.L. Fernahoe, the York and Lancaster Regiment, 22nd December 1946, age 41. Driver H. Farr, Royal Army Service Corps, 24th of June 1940, age 21. Private W. Daw, General Service Corps, 21st of May 1943. Private J. Cooper, it says Koyli, 29th of April 1942. These are slightly more difficult to read actually. Driver F. Brown, Royal Army Service Corps, 11th of February 1941. So let's have a quick look around the back. It does say their name liveth forevermore. There we go, Private G. Brown, the Green Howards. Oh, the Green Howards, 27th of October 1945. And then I'm just going to scan down a little bit just to show you these. Again, I think these things should be remembered. These are the people who are responsible for the freedoms that we enjoy today, and as such I think we should always take an opportunity to remember them. By all means, you can stop the video at any point and have a look. Now, I think some people will think that this is quite maudlin, or here we go. Here are recorded the names of those sailors and soldiers who gave their lives for their country in the Great War, who lie buried in this cemetery and are not commemorated elsewhere. So this was specifically for people not to be forgotten. Bless. It doesn't matter where you are, I suppose. In this country you have your freedoms because people like these went out to fight for them. So I think they should always be remembered and respected. That's only my view, I suppose. And that is everyone. That's the view. A hill on the city, and then the housing estate right next door. So guys, I think I'm going to leave it here. I'm going to pop out of the memorial and just let you have a look at that again. So we've had some from the early 1800s right the way up to post World War II, haven't we? It shows you how long it's been here. I'll step back just a little bit and just see if I can get it in, because it's hedged off as well and it's maintained. So that's that. It's been a bit of a long one, I do apologise. I did want to show you the building itself down at the bottom, which was probably the crematorium, or the place, the chapel of service I think they call them, don't they? The chapel of service. And I'm going to finish it on this one. I hope you liked it. I hope I haven't bored you. Please give it a like, subscribe, let your friends know. It's something different, I suppose, just to let people know what we've got here in the sunny seal town of Sheffield. And have a good one, and I shall see you on the next one. Bye for now.